Hi everyone, I'm your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing today, this Saturday? How are you all doing? I hope your Saturday is going well. I'm here to talk about, as you can see, yes, reparations for Black citizens in the United States of America. There's so many different, I guess I could say, terminology or terms that they use to describe, I guess, descendants of slavery or Black people or African American people. My apologies, you all, but in advance. But I don't know all the terms or the names or the for I guess Black people. It's crazy. Yes, I am Black, and to be honest, and it's sad, we don't know our history. We don't know where we really originated from. It's so many different reports and stories and documentaries and books and just history. I don't know, it gets a little complex. So, in my mind, I'm just saying, in my mind, I guess those who are melanated and who are Black, I do believe should get reparations. But when it gets into FBA, descendants of slavery, I mean, how can we truly, truly prove this? How? How? Do I believe Black people are owed reparations? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I say Black people, and I use that, um, phrase slash term or whatever you want to call it loosely because, like I said, Black people, African Americans, I mean, we've been given so many different names by other cultures. So it's really a weird space for me, in my opinion. But before I continue with my discussion and opinion and commentary on this matter, I need for you all to like, share, subscribe to the mix, like, share, subscribe, especially those who have yet to subscribe and who are digitally passing by. Go ahead and hit that subscription button. Boom, and the notification bell for everyone. And let's get the discussion going in the comment section. Drop a comment, drop a comment. I'll be sharing my screen with you all. I want to read this I guess you can call it an article. It's from the Office of Attorney General of California. So it looks like California, in my opinion, based off of my research, I could be wrong, but they're possibly leading the charge, meaning that from a local state level, they're leading the charge for reparations. And they have a team, a task force. I don't know who came up with this, but I know that has been the topic of reparation has been a strong discussion over the past, I think, 4 to 5 years now. So it looks like there is some movement locally from a state level, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I haven't did any more research, but I think this would be unprecedented. If you all know something different, then drop it in the comment section, and I thank you in advance if you find out something different. But I think this is the first from a state level that a bill has been actually drafted and it's making some type of movement. And this is in California. So if that is the case, then this could set the precedent. But the thing is that how or who are they going to deem or decide to receive on reparations? Uh, I don't know. How is that going to be determined? What are you going to say? It's so confusing, and I feel embarrassed having this conversation or just even delivering this content because I can't tell you truthfully and with my chest that I don't know where I truly come from. My heritage. Basically, my aunt, I know she tried to inform us about our lineage and this and that when we were younger or whatever. I guess I can speak to her more, but to be quite honest, and I say this respectfully, I don't even know if they were taught the right thing. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. This is just all so confusing. And I need to learn it for myself. So I don't really trust everything someone says without solid receipts, without something solid, So everything, in my opinion, is pretty subjective when it comes to this, and other topics as well. So, I have to have certain receipts to solidify my heritage, my ancestry, and all of that. I know on my father's side, I know we have a lot of lighter skinned people, relatives. It's just so confusing, and I don't even think they truly know. I'm just gonna say, come out and say that, and I say that respectfully. I don't think my parents really know, or my aunts really know where we came from. But the best knowledge is to go out in the field yourself, do your own research and digging, and then I'll be able to deliver that. But let me go ahead and share the screen with you all. Okay, as you can see, this is directly from oag.ca.gov. This is Office of the Attorney General of California Gov website. So this, when I say getting receipts and solid information to support some of the things that I discuss in my opinions and commentary and reviews on whatever, I like to kind of go to the source. I like to have a solid, highly reliable source. So this is California, and I know there's other resources, news articles from other levels, and I definitely take those in consideration as well. But okay, this is from the Office of California, Rob Bonta, and he's the Attorney General of California. So, based on this, Reparations Task Force members, and I'm just going to go over some excerpts from this, and this is directly on their website. This is a bill that has been drafted and generated. So, it's Assembly bill. Again, this is local level, so it's AB. AB meaning this is the local level, state of California, not federal level. When you see SB, that's Senate bill, and that's from the federal level, so that's what I would learn too in legal classes. So this is from a state level. It's the California Bill 3121 establishes the task force to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans, with a special consideration for African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States. So the task force, or reparations task force, that's what they're calling it. The purpose of the task force is 1, to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans; 2, to recommend appropriate ways to educate the California public of the task force findings; and number 3, to recommend appropriate remedies in consideration of the task force findings. I'm not really feeling all three of them. And the reason why I say that, number 1, and this is my question to number 1, who's to say what they study is accurate or close to being accurate, because nothing is really 100%. It's close to being accurate, and who's giving them the authority, whoever this task force is, and I'm going to get down to that because they do list the people of the task force. Who's giving them the authority to determine this? Is there someone else behind the scenes, as far as proposal wise, that is boots on the ground? So that's my question for number 1. Number 2, to recommend appropriate ways to educate California public of the task force findings. This could mean so many different things, and this is where interpretation and context matters. What are they saying right here? To recommend appropriate ways. What do they deem appropriate ways to educate the California public of the task force findings? That can be read at any. I don't like vague language. I don't, because they could flip it or create whatever thought or context they want with this. Speak directly. Appropriate ways to educate the California. Who's to deem what's appropriate or not? I don't see. Being in the legal field, you pick up on these words and language that's vague and not clear, and that means that somebody can flip it for whatever narrative or agenda or just thought process or interpretation. It's left up to interpretation. So who's to decide how that should be interpreted? Number 3, To recommend appropriate remedies in consideration of the task force findings. To recommend appropriate remedies. Who deems what appropriate? See, that word appropriate. What you feel is appropriate may not be appropriate for the masses of the African American community. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling this already. I'm glad the conversation is out there. And I do believe, again, this may be unprecedented. So it may be, whereas this is from a local level, that this has ever been done. When I say unprecedented, that it's never been done before. But drop a comment in the comment section. Also like this video, like, share. Let me know if you researched and found anything different. Has this ever been done on a local level where actual assembly bill has been created or drafted for reparations, like a task force, to kind of like what they're trying to do here, which I'm not really feeling. But I guess maybe this is not dry and there's more to it. And I'm hoping that this is like under development. This is just the beginning process. Okay. So I'm going to go into this paragraph. By statute, the task force consists of 9 members. 5 members are appointed by the governor. What? 2 members are appointed by the president pro tempore of the Senate, and 2 members by the Speaker of the Assembly. Task force members are drawn from diverse backgrounds to represent the interests of communities of colors throughout the state, have experience working to implement racial justice reform, and to the extent possible represent geographically diverse areas of the state. The task force may hold hearings, hear witness testimony, and request a product of evidence. To attend an upcoming meeting or view past meetings, please visit and they give you the link to. And this is, again, the Office of Attorney General, California.gov. Again, California seems to be leading the charge. So this is important because it will set the precedent, meaning that other states will probably likely follow. So if California is going to do this, we need them to do this and get it right. Everybody should be involved. Everybody should be, in terms of, considered. Everybody, I ain't going to say considered. Everybody should get, every black person should get reparations. That's all. That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to keep it real. We all need to get reparations. Okay, these are the following individuals part of the task force. I'm not liking this. Senator Stephen, what's their background? Are they far removed from the community? I get that they're black, but do they know? Are they boots on the ground? Do they know what's going on in the communities? Oh gosh. So this is the task force, you guys. This is a lot of work. I'll have to like Google and research these people, because just because you are a black face doesn't mean that you are very much aware of what's going on out in the field and in the communities. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that, especially when you become a politician and this and that. You become a public servant, not really on the ground, but you're in Washington all the time. You're in these big congressional meetings or local meetings, and you're in Springfield or whatever, or wherever your Capitol building is at in that state, and you're constantly interacting with your colleagues. And do you really know what's going on in the community? Do you really know what's best for the black community? Do you? So I'm not really feeling this task force. I got issues with this already, and I know like how the saying goes: if you want results, or what's your response? What do you think then? What should be done? And you know what? That's a great question. That is definitely a great question. And what do you all think should be done? Because I'm not feeling this. Are you all feeling this? Are you feeling this task force? Are you feeling what they're stating this task force represents? Do you think it would be fair? Do you think it'll exclude some black people? African Americans? I don't know. Whatever they call us. Like I said, this is really, just having this conversation. It's sad that I'm here speaking on this, and I feel semi-embarrassed because I really don't know my background like that. My lineage, my ancestry, my history. And I know they said DNA.com or whatever, or Ancestry.com. Some of that stuff, man, okay. I'll have to, nope. I'm just not signing up and giving my blood to anybody. So, and you all might be saying too, they probably got my blood anyway, from different blood tests and all that and this and that. But hey, you guys see my point. You all see my point. But like, share, subscribe to the mix. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get the discussion going. What do you all think? Should Black citizens in America receive reparations? And how does that? What does that look like for you? For African Americans, Black Americans? I don't know. What melanated Americans? What does that look like? Should other melanated cultures like Jamaican? I think maybe Cuban. When it comes to history, it becomes so complex, you guys. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm some type of history buff because I am not. I am not, but I do enjoy history. I do enjoy it, but politics is really my passion and legal is really my passion, but I do enjoy history and documentaries and things like that. So, but I can't even begin to tell you. I'm only repeating or regurgitating what was told to me when it comes to my own family. But I don't even know if they're 1000% sure. I may have to just sit down and have a conversation and probably do an interview with my aunt for my YouTube channel because she's the oldest and that's on my mom's side to kind of pick her brain to really see. And maybe she might have some artifacts or something old school because she keeps a lot of things. And maybe I can start piecing things together like that. And then have a conversation probably with my father and to see, but I don't know, to see what it is on my father's side of the family. So, but this is going to be interesting. What do you all think? Are you feeling the California Reparations Task Force Committee? What are your thoughts? Do you believe they will do it what is in the best interest of everyone? Do you believe they're in tune with what's going on out here in the communities from state to state? Because again, like I stated, if California is the first to do this from a local level in terms of in terms of local assembly bill from the local level, and this goes through and it passes, Californians who are African Americans or who meet whatever requirements they come up with, because that's what it sounds like, they're going to receive checks. So that means other states will model that same blueprint and likely follow. So we need to be on top of this as a community. This has opened my eyes. I had a conversation with a friend earlier today about, I think Dr. Umar Johnson was speaking about reparations, or my friend, we just was having a conversation and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do some content on this. I've read and heard and and just skimmed through some things. And yes, I want reparations too. But it's always been a question, how would that look like? Because when you get into all of these different terminologies for descendants of slavery, Black Americans, FBA, Foundation, like what does all that mean? What does that all mean? How about I'm Black and I'm being transparent now. And according to my history, basically what I've learned and what I can see from generations, we've been held back. Where's the wealth? Where's the getting when it came to education, we couldn't learn. We had to sneak and learn. Now, I knew all of that. So regardless, where's that coming from? How do we trace that? How do we trace those who were impacted in that sense? Maybe that's what I mean. I'm figuring it out myself as I go along. Maybe that's what I mean. Those who were impacted by not being able to learn how to have an education, not being considered as a citizen, not having the same opportunities. That, to me, everybody, reparations. We used to, ancestry-wise, the slaves used to be meek to learn how to read. And then when things started to open up and slavery was abolished, we still was enslaved in certain parts of the United States. So it's just becomes so complex. And again, I'm not a history buff, all of that. I do enjoy it. And it'll take time to do some in-depth, deep dive research within your own history. I know, especially, I believe, for Black people, and that's just my opinion. But yeah, like, share, subscribe to the mix. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this. This is a lot to process when you talk about reparations. It's a lot to unpack. If you're Black, African American, Afro Latino. I don't know, you all. I don't know. All I know is that I just really feel everybody black should get a check. That's what I'm saying. Cut a check. And especially if your heritage has been held back in some way, shape, or form, economically, education wise, and didn't have the same opportunities and resources as um, white people or Caucasian people, or those of a different, cultural race. So, yeah. But let me know your thoughts. Let's get the discussion going. I'm also going to have a poll going on, I think today or tomorrow. So go over to my community section, and I need for you all to vote, 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 vote. Should Black Americans be should Black Americans get reparations for Blacks, something like that. So going over to my community section, should Black United States citizens receive reparations? Also, drop a comment with your thoughts. California is believed to be the first state to entertain the thought of reparations through legislation from a state level. So, yeah, go head on over to my community section and vote yes or no. Should Black people, United States and of American Black citizens, receive reparations? Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye.